Have you ever done like an RV trip? I would like
Van life, you mean?
Van life, yeah. I think you can't do van life.
I know van life got ruined this over COVID. You can't get a Sprinter or a VW like at any reasonable price. And then it became like a hashtag Instagram TikTok-y thing, like van life.
Right.
It just feels like the van life got gentrified.
I hope you enjoyed these 5 highly produced episodes of Not Lost. In between seasons, we'll be tackling such diverse topics as the gentrification of van life. Tune in next week for a conversation.
This is Not Lost.
California so far. How's everybody feeling?
I'm Brendan Francis Newnam.
Oh, great. I feel great that it's not New York.
That's my friend, the audio producer, John DeLore.
It's just it is an incredible joy to just be out of the city.
Yeah.
It's April 2022, and after a 2-year hiatus spent hunkering down in New York City due to COVID, we are heading toward the opposite of the Big Apple, Big Sur. 80 miles of wilderness along the rugged coast of Central California.
Look at these beaches, man.
Taking in the coastal beauty, it's hard to remember why I ever left California.
Like, what are we doing with our lives? Oh, that house is for sale. Maybe the world's speaking to me. Live right there, work remotely, make podcasts, eat soup.
So you've been to Big Sur how many times?
I was thinking about on the plane, I think like 11 or 12 times.
What was the first time?
Big Sur is not new to me. Years back, when I lived in California, I would visit all the time. And like many before me, I was seduced by the area's looming redwood forest and mountains on one side.
You're getting a big Eiffel to the right now.
This is bananas.
Wow.
And the drama of cliffs, rock, and ocean on the other.
But look at the shoreline. It's like accessible for like a stretch, and then it just turns into this sort of cliffs.
It is hard to overstate how stunning Big Sur is. It is an Edenic wilderness. It is Beethoven, the Taj Mahal, filet mignon, Queen Amman, all of it, all in one. And yet, what really makes it special for me are the thinkers, artists, and writers who live and visit here. Despite being remote, in Big Sur, a book of poetry or a good conversation are not hard to find.
I can't believe I can't find parking in Big Sur.
Yeah.
Okay, come on out.
You should lay in your horn.
I want to.
You can take the guy out of New York City.
I'd rather live a life that's a little on edge, like wildfires, mountain lions, and then paradise and elation, those two ends of the spectrum, than this monotonous, middle-of-the-road stuff that I was aforementioned.
When we arrive in Big Sur Village, we strike up a chat with a radiant, even beatific-looking stranger named Jake Pador.
How did you end up in Big Sur?
I ended up here by accident, which most other residents of Big Sur will say the same. They didn't actually try to live here.
Jake is young, has a short beard, and baggy clothes with a touch of bohemian flair.
Music and spirit, if I do say so, is really the reason why I ended up here.
Yeah.
Found myself in LA trying to do the music thing, and it just was making me feel lost. And I was luckily cradled by this beautiful land.
I mean, is there enough to do as just a Big Sur, like, young guy living here? Like, you can get enough work to get by?
Oh, now I can. Before, living in my car, saving money on rent, that made it work out for me in that sense. But
is there a lot of car life going on in Big Sur?
There is. There's a lot of car life, a lot of transients, and a lot of multimillionaires.
Yeah.
And not much more in between. But right now I have a work trade situation. I garden for this lady's property and live in a little shack and play music. And people seem to enjoy that.
My journey is I ended up in the middle of the road, and I've kind of been digging it because I spent so much time not there. But I'm remembering those old feelings of what it's like to be on the road and to be someplace so dramatic. What is it like being in a place where people are like travelers like us are coming through constantly?
Yeah.
Like,
It's a beautiful thing.
Or is it
it's invigorating. I'm meeting people from all over the world. I feel like I'm touring through vast lands, but really I'm just on this 80-mile stretch of coastline, and I'm just meeting all the most wonderful characters. As Henry Miller said, in Big Sur, stay put and watch the world go round. To these
do you think
people from
you're
all over
going to
the
be
world.
here for decades and decades.
Who knows?
It's transitory, as you said, so maybe
It is. It's fun to think about some visions or the future, but I notice I'm happiest when I'm just right here, right now.
Yeah.
Day by day, hour by hour, moment by moment.
When we left Jake, his words rang in my ears. Yeah, let's be right here, right now. Which I interpreted to mean, let's get into the nature we travel so far to explore. Took a right off the one. It was time to visit the beach. We're driving directly off the continent of North America.
That's it.
Going to the edge. Do you know this one? Beach Boys?
Right.
So I found this song when I was making a playlist for the trip. I knew one of them lived up here, but I didn't know they wrote a song about it. Before we can hit the beach, we stop at a little gatehouse to buy a day pass for our car.
Good morning.
How we doing?
$12?
Yeah, we take cash or card, whatever's easier.
Okay. Is it busy or slow today?
Starting to pick up a little bit.
Yeah.
Slower than it was yesterday at this time,
Right.
but still a weekend.
All right. Thank you for this.
Not a problem. You guys are all set to go. Have a great afternoon.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
What do we think? His life out of a scale 1 to 10? I'm thinking 10, right? Seems like super happy.
He seems happy.
He's like living near the beach. I'm trying not to be jealous.
Away from Big Sur. Oh, Big Sur.
I'm gonna go put my feet in the water.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
But we're gonna have to, it's not shorts, but we're gonna show some calf.
No, that's fine.
All right?
Avert your eyes because my calves have not seen sun in years.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. This feels like the opposite of a Zoom call.
It's good to touch the water.
Doesn't it look a little bit like the beginning of creation? There's like mist. These beautiful flowers, these purple peeking out on the edges and the green right into the water. It looks like this is where man sprung forth.
Yeah.
Such an interesting beach experience though. You come here, you're not swimming today because it's cold.
I don't think you could swim here, could you? Are the waves too much?
You can do whatever you want here, but it's so goddamn beautiful that that is enough. There's something about over there. I can't tell if it's a log. Actually, look right there.
Right.
Honestly. If that's a piece of driftwood or crazy seaweed.
The large brown thing down there?
Yeah.
It's moving. I don't think that's a log.
Let's go check it out.
All right. Oh, check that out. Those are the elephant seals.
Wow. Oh my God, look at these.
These things are massive.
Wow. Like when you come up to this, it looks like a battlefield with all these like fallen soldiers.
Yeah. You see Battlefield, my read is like Rockaway Beach, like sort of mid-August on a Wednesday when there's not too many people and everyone's really quiet. Everyone's got enough space for their blanket, but they're just all very chill right now.
I feel like they just partied their brains out.
Right. It's got that vibe. That's what I'm saying.
Traipsing between the blobs of napping elephant seals was a figure holding a clipboard. John and I waved,
Hello,
and they approached us.
I'm Brendan.
Arena.
John, nice to meet you.
What are you doing here?
So I'm currently working on my PhD, and this morning I was actually just out doing resites, and so I was out looking at their flipper tags.
Oh, no
Nice.
way. Well, look at this guy scratching his thigh.
How do they move? It's like such a dumb basic question. How do they move? Like,
We have
this
a
far
very
inland?
scientific term for that on land. It's called galumphing.
What is it called?
Galumphing.
Galumphing.
That sounds right.
Have you ever seen that dance move, the worm?
Yeah.
Seen
Basically
it.
looks like that.
We got through
Pretty
high
good at
school
it,
doing
yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's incredible. So why do they come here? Like this spot?
Yeah, so they actually come back to each of these colonies because that's where they were born and that's where they know to go.
Is there a scientific word for that sort of thing? Like that behavior of like going back to where you came from?
Yeah, it's known as like philopatric behavior.
Philopatric?
I like that. It's like after college, I was philopatric. I just like ended up in my dad's basement.
And so where do they go when they're not here?
So they spend most of their time out at sea.
Okay.
The adult females will go out to the middle of the Pacific Ocean. I think their round trip can come in at about 10,000 kilometers that they're doing. And then after about 2 months, they come back to molt. And while they're on land, they're fasting the entire time. And then they'll go back out to sea for 7 months, putting on a ton of mass to then come back for the breeding season.
I'm looking at them, I'm like inspired. Like I feel like I move way too much in New York, that I need to spend a little bit more of my life focusing on the basics, which is napping, it looks to me, maybe finding a good mate, maybe having some kids.
For me, I was drawn to them by what they can do out in the sea, because that is really like how they make a living out there.
Yeah.
You know, like it's really, if they don't do well out there, they're not going to be able to come back on land and do well on land.
Right, so this is classic me. I'm looking at them just chilling out after the result of all their hard work. And I'm like, I want that.
You don't see the 9 to 5 out there.
I don't want to do the 10,000 hours of work that allows this to happen. It's pretty amazing.
Do you know any of the, like these ones that are laid on the beach? Any of them are familiar?
We do have, yes, there is this one girl, 1885, who I believe is 20 this year.
All right.
And I think she held the record for the deepest dive of the seals that we've instrumented.
Yeah.
Which was about 2 hours and down to 1,700 meters.
Love that.
So cool.
We know we have her track from that year, and then we actually tracked her several years later. It seems like she's doing the same thing every year
incredible.
and knows where to go.
The idea that they keep coming back to where they came from, like, is really intriguing to me. But thank you so much for
This is
sharing
great.
your work with us.
Yeah, this is beautiful. Thank you so much.
Awesome, yeah.
But it's nice to be able to come out on the beach and run across someone who just hangs out with these critters all the time.
You guys are heading south, right?
Well, we might go to, there's this place in Pescadero. Have you ever been to Duart's?
No.
Oh my God. It has
He's got
this
a half
amazing,
hour. He's got this soup.
it's
he
got
wants
this
to tell
amazing
you
cream of
about.
artichoke soup.
So there's this soup I used to get every time I visited Big Sur.
Artichoke soup, bro. I've had artichoke soup.
I might have mentioned it once or twice while planning for this trip.
Incredible soup.
This is cream of artichoke made from artichokes they pick in the garden.
Cream of artichoke.
Butter, garlic, onion.
I first encountered it years
2
ago.
pounds of artichokes.
And now I make a pilgrimage to eat it anytime I'm nearby.
If you've been there, you can order off menu the 50-50.
Blend it with this chili verde soup, which is more piquant and spicy.
Chicken stock, heavy cream, salt and pepper.
In my mind, it contains more than just nutrients. Super grounding and almost woodsy. It's like a metaphor for the ideal life. It contains wisdom for living. You know, the soup's grounded but spicy.
I've kind of been thinking about this soup for 5 years, and
Soup is not the main reason I decided to visit California.
The soup that you talk about all the fucking time.
but just want to make sure we hit it if we're traveling there.
Certainly played a role in my decision.
We got to do the math to see if it makes sense to go back.
Unfortunately,
Because we have to backtrack and go the other way.
we didn't have time to stop there on the way down to Big Sur. And after our jaunt to the beach, the jet lag hit us like a wave of molasses. So we checked into the cabin, unpacked the car, and when we were settled, it was dark. And not bluish city dark, but squid ink black dark. We lit a fire, opened a bottle of mezcal, and continued to try to be in the present.
Big Sur, I've got plans for you. Me and mine are going to add ourselves to your lengthy list of lovers.
Dave, 2 almond cappuccinos.
Some people know the best fishing spots or a good place to catch waves to surf. I'm like that for coffee shops. Even in the wilderness, I can hear the siren call of a milk frother. And thus, the next morning, we proceeded to Big Sur Bakery, a casual eatery nestled in the hills off of Highway 1.
So, John, I've been to Big Sur Bakery dozens of times. What's your experience?
Okay, so first of all, it's across from the most beautiful gas station of all time. It makes gas look probably good for the planet. Like, you imagine that the person who works in there is like extremely fit and doing yoga in between pumping gas. Bakery's good. I mean, I've got like this. What is it? What did you order? Why am I eating?
It's a blueberry strudel.
Blueberry
with
strudel?
At least like 2 pounds of blueberries.
2 pounds of blueberries. Seriously.
But I had to give it to you because they did not announce there was almond flour.
Right, and you threw it down like it was like a wet rag. You're like, it's got almond flour.
Like, this is gonna close off my throat. But yeah, or you could just say I threw it down like what? Either way, you could act like I'm being pretentious, or we could talk about a medical condition.
Yeah.
But no, the pastry cabinet here is like of the gods. There's like little prosciutto Gruyere, cheese loaves, and vegetable frittatas. What's interesting, I have a question though. So when I gave you my blueberry, it's going due to my medical emergency. You were like, oh, well, you can eat my ginger scone, which is very generous of you.
Right.
But ginger is like kind of a coffee killer. You know
Is
what I
it?
mean? It's like the flavored ginger intersecting with coffee. To me, it feels like I'm taking a pill. It's like ginger is so...
Huh.
I don't know. I found the collision a little...
I think it's like having like a cookie or like a,
It's like
Martha, there's a cappuccino for here.
toothpaste and orange juice. But thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks for this. It's good. It's good. I'm sorry about the almond flour thing. Oh, your glands. Is your throat closing up at all?
John's snark rolls off me as I happily watch the line of people in yoga pants and hiking boots stifle yawns while waiting for their coffee orders.
Lofton, there's a flat white.
John begins texting his wife in New York, who he left home alone with their 2 kids.
You can almost feel as I'm leaving, like I'm just taking this huge, 60-pound, flak jacket combination, old hair shirt. It's uncomfortable and it's heavy. I just take mine off and be like, all right, you're gonna have to wear both of them for 5 days. Already, I can just feel the space, or it's quieter in my head because there's not that you need to get up now. You need to get their pajamas on. Then you wake up and you open your eyes and you're like, oh no, I'm in California.
Yeah.
I don't have to do that today.
Yeah. All right. Let's to get out here. Let's go check out Henry Miller Library, and it's a little nonprofit because Henry Miller used to live here, and so we'll check with Magnus, who I've known over the years. He's seen me in different states with different hair lengths, different partners, in different cars, and now it's years on, and I'm still here. You'll be the hairiest partner I bring to him yet.
Amazing. Let's do it.
I'm glad you're here with me.
Yeah.
Glad we got you out.
I'm loving it.
Black coffee for Chelsea.
Anaphylactic shock avoided and bellies full, we hop in our rig and mosey further down Highway 1.
But it's that same thing, you go to those natural places to recharge and come back.
Yeah.
But I think if you do the opposite, where you're living in the country most of the time and then going to city and coming back, that's just it's the inverse of the thing that I think I aspire to.
That's like the chili verde soup is the majority, and in the middle is just a little bit of artichoke, right? Is that what you're saying?
I'm just trying to figure out if I acknowledge it, does that mean we're going to keep talking about the soup, or if I just...
We come to a little turnout where a tiny cabin sits amidst redwood trees at the edge of a shady glade.
This is perfect. Look, there's this old wooden sign, painted yellow, Henry Miller Library, book, music, art. All right, let's go check it out.
The Henry Miller Library is not an actual library. It's a nonprofit art center, bookstore, and performance space set up as a kind of memorial to the writer. Miller had had his fill of city life and moved to Big Sur back in the 1940s.
Yeah. Hey, man.
I'm just so happy to be here, man. This is the first trip in 2 years, and I wanted to come right to the most beautiful place I could think of.
What do you mean first trip in 2 years? Because of COVID, you mean?
Because of COVID.
Yeah.
So this show, we were making it,
Yep.
and then stopped.
Right.
And then in that time, I got a normal job, got my hair cut, my girlfriend moved in, bought a car, started watching TV, became an American.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of tapering,
Right.
and I'm back out here.
My name is Magnus Toren, and I have been here at the library since 1993. And I came here from Sweden.
Magnus is tall, clad in denim, and has a full head of silver hair doing this kind of cool scarecrow shag thing.
All right, so can you give us the lay of the land here?
Well, the library is here. It's been like this since 1981. Very few things have changed. People don't like things changing here. Oftentimes people would comment on a rock that used to be in one place and now it's moved, and they get slightly perturbed. See that redwood tree right there is actually classic redwood. How the branches are drooping, really drooping, hanging down. That's like the cover tree for a book about Sequoia sempervirens, which these are. And when David Crosby did his concert, which was not that long ago, he stood on the stage, and suddenly in the middle of the concert, he stopped like this, and then he looked up, and he suddenly noticed that tree, and he said, "This song is for that tree."
Do you mind telling John the story of how you ended up in Big Sur?
Initially, I hitchhiked down the coast in 1978, the first time, and then I sailed for 7 years mainly in the South Pacific. And then on August 28, 1984, I had a motorcycle accident right outside of Fernwood here in the valley.
Right in Big Sur, yeah.
Right in that downtown the valley, Big Sur, and I lost my consciousness, and I sprawled myself on the hood of this car, bleeding profusely out of certainly my nose and mouth. And I wake up and I'm holding somebody's hand, and I open up my eyes and I see this beautiful young woman, and I said, "How did you get here?" And then she went with me in the ambulance, and I'm still with her 4 miles south of here on Partington Ridge, where she brought me up. So that's the reason I'm here, is having met her.
You fell in love.
I fell in love completely, and fell in love with her and the place. And I had so many stitches on my lips that it took 3 weeks for us to finally be able to kind of gently kiss.
Magnus walks us around the grounds of the library. There's a ping pong table, a small stage for performances, and various folk art sculptures nestled beneath redwood trees.
This is the iconic thing. This piano's been taking a beating for years.
Yeah, it's entropy. It's a piano that's slowly rotting in front of our eyes here. I had 3 of those mannequins surrounding a redwood stump on which I had a cup, and in the cup I had a Rubik's Cube.
So a lot of these you made these, and they're kind of just
random,
ready-mades inspired by your wild mind.
Yeah. Now, that orange thing there, that actually comes from the bowling alley where they shot the Lebowski movie.
Really?
Yeah.
The condom vest?
Oh, yeah. That's from the Big Sur fashion show that we have here.
They're like jellyfish. All right, and now we approach the Emma White house, which has been converted into
this
library, beautiful little library and bookstore. Yeah, I mean, we can poke our heads in here. So we're basically in this place, and it's like a really handsome bookstore in a cabin with this kind of nice warm lighting. Is there an organization? What's the selection?
It's a little bit. It's on the shelf we have books that are essentially by author, pretty much alphabetical, and then we have displays on the tables, and they change all the time depending on how we feel.
Yeah. But the books themselves are all kind of
rotating in and out.
Modern classics, ancient classics.
Classics, yeah. It's like an education in humanities on one level. And this poster here is from the wild year of 2011, where we had the Chili Peppers and John Waters and.
Oh my! Wait. So these are people who performed at the library. Red Hot Chili Peppers, John Waters, MGMT. Henry Rollins did spoken word here.
Yeah. Remarkable. 3.5 hours.
Wow.
After our chat with Magnus, we linger on at the library.
This tree is probably what?
1,000 years old. How old are redwoods?
John finds a spot of cell reception and calls his kids before night falls on the East Coast.
Papa.
Yeah. Hi, guys. Where am I? I'm in California. Hi, Indy Boo.
Hi.
How are you? Are you tired?
I'm busy right now.
You're busy right now. Are you too busy to say hi?
Yeah, I'm too busy.
Meanwhile, I browse the bookshop and find a copy of Big Sur and the Oranges of Hieronymus Bosch, Henry Miller's memoirs from when he lived here.
I sent you a video. We saw an elephant seal. It's really big and it makes a noise like it's burping.
We whiled away the day.
How tall do you think it is?
It's like it looks like, oh, here's how I could do it. It looks like a 15-story building, right?
After a while, we got ourselves together.
Bye, guys.
And pushed off to another iconic Big Sur spot.
So we're at Nepenthe. It's a little bit foggy out, but there will be a shift when this goes down in about a half hour's time.
Designed by a student of Frank Lloyd Wright, Nepenthe Restaurant was built around the cliffside cabin in 1949. In any other setting, its modern redwood structure and expansive terrace would catch the eye. But here, its beauty is dwarfed by the view.
In the wake, and there is something sticking its head up over there, whether it's a whale or seal.
Nepenthe's perch on a cliff allows a miles-long view of the horizon.
Out there, see that bump?
Oh, yeah. It's probably 1885.
John and I stare, mouths agape, at Nepenthe's greatest attraction, the sunset.
We've got sunsets on lakes in the Midwest, which are nice, but they're like a specific thing. This is just huge. The thing about it for me that strikes me is like how far it goes from left to right. Do you know what I mean? Because the body of water is so much larger that pink band along the water for a lake is like, that big in your view. But this is like left to right.
Instead of 2 inches, it's like absolutely the entire screen.
It's the entire screen.
Nepenthe pulls off the rare trick of being a tourist destination as well as a spot where locals meet and mingle.
What is it?
Jade.
Jade.
Yeah.
Nice.
People look at me now, they go, God, Rudy, you are local.
Sometimes they even talk to each other.
Alexandra, do you live in Big Sur too?
No, I don't. I live in Santa Barbara, actually.
Santa Barbara is beautiful.
Yesterday, I put out a prayer because I knew I was going to go jade hunting today.
Yeah, what about you?
I live in New York.
Nice, yeah. New York seems really inspiring.
3 different people over the day brought me jade. Like, one guy gave me one guy gave me 2, and then the other guy gave me, like, all of the rest.
Don't think I would survive there.
It's intense.
As I sat at Nepenthe, I thought of a passage I'd read in Miller's memoirs earlier that day. Surely everyone realizes at some point along the way that he's capable of living a far better life than the one he has chosen. Those words stirred up an old feeling deep inside of me. Before COVID, I had a raging case of wanderlust. I spent years thinking there was a better life somewhere else, if only I could find it. But the forced stillness of the early pandemic seemed to inoculate me from the need to roam. I began to enjoy the quieter pleasures of domestic life, the burble of a stovetop espresso maker, reading on a couch with my partner's legs on my lap, a day on a park bench instead of a day on an airplane. But here in Nepenthe, I was getting a sort of contact high from past memories of when I was more footloose and fun-seeking.
I mean, if you wanted to get drunk or smoke dope and get high, you'd come to Big Sur.
And I have to admit,
let's go to Big Sur for the weekend. Okay, that sounds good with me.
It did feel pretty good.
Some things never change.
John was enjoying himself too.
But this is great. I mean, look at that fucking sunset, man.
Right? His dad brain on pause, if only for a brief moment.
Living on the East Coast, seeing the world close for the day on the West Coast once in a while, I think kind of is grounding. Another beautiful day.
Yeah, those redwoods, if we get out for a walk on the glade side, a hike on the glade side, those trees are just, I don't know what they are, but they're such a presence.
After a good night's sleep, our bodies felt refreshed, and it was time to tend to our spirits. Now, I don't necessarily believe in the New Agey spirituality that's as plentiful here as sunshine and poppy flowers, but I would be remiss if I came through Big Sur without checking in on the nouveau hippie scene. You see, a big presence here is the Esalen Institute, a kind of bougie New Age resort founded in the 60s that involves a lot of bodywork and hot springs. But John and I weren't going there. Nope. I like John, but not enough to spend $900 to hang out with him in a towel eating macrobiotic food. Instead, we were heading for some bespoke spiritual maintenance.
So we're going up this hill, Rancho Rico, for the sound healing session. It's a little bit mysterious. The healing part, even if this had been called a sound bath, I would have done it. But it happens to be called a sound healing session.
Right.
And I'm sure I can figure something out that needs to be healed.
Pause on that and just like look to the right. Like maybe don't drive.
Holy shit, that is gorgeous.
Just beautiful, beautiful hills. Yeah. And they're mountains, right? Are these mountains? You can say mountain. They're mountains.
They're St. Lucia Mountains.
Hills doesn't do it. And this is again one of those roads I would appreciate if you went a little slower. I'm afraid of heights, and the fact there's no guardrail to our right makes me feel a little bit nauseous. What do you need healed today? Well, just the nausea from the drive up your driveway.
I know, and you're going to lose all the things you gained on the drive down.
I think left, but that doesn't look safe, does it?
Proceed about a mile, and at the three-way fork, stay to the far right.
This feels like it's not the three-way fork. That doesn't even look like it's we want to drive on it. Like I think this is, follow this to the right. Right? I mean,
this looks like a road, right?
That's what I think.
All right, I guess we got to just choose,
Just
right?
pick one, right? I mean, hashtag not lost.
Go another half mile.
Cattle grate.
That's the cattle grate.
All right.
Big Sur Fiddle Camp.
Yeah, that's the worst that could happen. We end up like in a field of kids practicing fiddles.
I need to go here, but I need to do a K-turn without falling off that cliff.
Yeah, don't do that. You want me to get out of the car first?
Whew, that was a journey. Sorry we're late. This is such a beautiful little place hidden away.
You're in the Shangri-La now.
Deva Monet is the owner of Sacred Sound and Wonder, where she does sound healing sessions and sells crystal singing bowls. Her home, she calls it the Star Barn, is on a huge ranch. And if John weren't feeling woozy from the drive, he could look out and see a stunning view of the ocean raging 100 feet below us.
I should say we're now peeking out at the ocean, which is just on the other side here.
Sunrise, sunset. It's kind of the place to be for it.
So where are we?
We are on Rancho Rico, which is my dear friend's family ranch.
How long have you been up in Rancho Rico?
A little over 9 years now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I started off living in a small cabin with a Murphy bed, and then I moved to an old renovated wine barrel.
Did you say renovated wine barrel?
Like you lived in the wine barrel?
I lived in a wine
That's
barrel.
like van life, but it's stagnant and doesn't
But
move?
with ocean views.
That's less square footage than a New York apartment.
Deva has long brown hair, blue eyes, skinny jeans that flare at the bottom, and the easy manner of someone who has namaste'd her way around a yoga mat once or twice.
Every culture has some form of sound that they use in their healing. Just shaman's drum, rattles are another one that are really old.
She gives us a sonic tour of her audio healing toolkit.
This one is called a sharkunok from Russia. And this one's from Mexico. The most recent ones that I got are the Egyptian sistrums.
That one feels so satisfying.
I don't know. Same. That's like my favorite so far. There's something about the tone of it.
And today you're going to deploy bowls.
So if you guys are ready.
We're ready. So here's my question before we begin this journey. Are we supposed to think about what we need healed? Like how are we supposed to?
Yeah, it helps because intention is everything, right?
Right.
Yeah, just to name what is an area that you're seeking harmony in your life.
Over the course of COVID, I feel like I've become normal and it's been pleasant in some ways and I'm not completely chafing against it.
But coming out to Big Sur, I'm remembering the kind of more adventurous, the wanderlust, the kind of more roaming, free character I was previous. And I just want to make sure I calibrate properly so I don't find myself too much one or too much the other.
All right. If I give you one that's like an opposite flavor, is it going to muddy the sound healing? You know what I mean? Like,
No, they're kind of like adaptogens that
okay.
They'll work toward your individual constitution.
I think probably like my top line anxiety right now is just like pure mortality, fear of death. I was like never afraid of death until after I had kids. So that's just like, I think about death way more than I ever have in my life.
Is that why you had a salad for lunch? I've
Yeah,
never seen you eat a salad before.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's a really big one for people right now, is facing our mortality.
Well, if you could just solve all those things, we'd be good. Thanks.
Let's, we'll dive in, see where it takes you. Well, go ahead, and I'm going to invite you to take 3 nice, long, deep, slow belly breaths, inhaling deep into your belly. And as you exhale, letting out a sigh or a sound, releasing your jaw, maybe rock your head just a little side to side. And again, nice, deep, full belly breaths. Bringing through great clarity,
Cream artichoke a little too boring on its own.
balance,
Jalapeno a little too hot.
inner peace and tranquility.
Day by day, hour by hour, moment by moment by moment by moment by moment by moment.
And in beauty, we begin again and again.
Wanted to come right to the most beautiful place I could think of.
So may it be, and so it is. In God the Mother, God the Father, God the Holy Spirit.
Already, like I can just feel the space.
I love all these purples and pinks.
Or it's like it's quieter in my head.
Singing bowls, tranquility.
You want to get drunk and smoke dope and get high, you come to Big Sur.
Hashtag van life.
What is it?
Jade.
Jade.
Yeah.
Redwood trees
The pure mind
I see this beautiful young woman,
and the endless joy.
out here in Big Sur.
and I said, "How did you get here?"
Is this where I belong? '85 is free.
This one girl, 1885.
Can you tell me that word again? Like why they come back to the same place?
Philopatrick.
But then she'll find her way back where she belongs.
It seems like she's doing the same thing every year and knows where to go.
Big Sur, we had plans.
I'm gonna go put my feet in the water.
Double vax, rapid tested too. Take mountain heights, stroll your beaches, avoid phone reception. Must I go back to a teeny apartment for a giant price? Polluted air, screeching sirens at night. Back home in Edelweiss, is that where I belong?
New York seems really inspiring.
That's not an uncommon thing in New York to feel drawn to it.
No, you're a New Yorker. I mean, there's no doubt about it. That's a city that fits you well.
Are you too busy to say hi?
Black coffee for Chelsea.
Yeah, I'm too busy.
Okay.
The win is to get 50-50.
Do you go to those natural places to recharge and come back?
Like what are we doing with our lives?
Let's go to Big Sur for the weekend. Okay, sounds good with me.
While in Big Sur, I communed with nature, vibrated away some city grime, and marveled once again at this area's utopic vistas. I also realized that traveling feels different for me now. The pandemic forced me to stay in one place, and during that time, I began to lay down some roots. I still find roaming around exhilarating and mind-expanding, but I no longer see it as a trial subscription to living in a new place. So instead of going back to New York now that my trip is over, I am returning home.
Big Sur, we had plans for you. Double vax, rapid tested too. Take mountain hikes, stroll your beaches, avoid phone reception. Is there a question? Avoid self-deception. It's not where I belong.
Oh, but first... So John, I don't know if you can understand. We had one more stop to make. How excited I am
Pescadero Creek Road for 2 miles.
to be entering Pescadero. Remember I told you about this little roadhouse
You mentioned it.
because Duarte's Tavern.
This place has got a good look.
Oh my God.
It's got that like sort of old L-shaped
font.
tavern sign on the front.
This car is so big. Oh, look at these people already lining up. It doesn't open until noon.
You think these people are here for the soup?
Yeah, they're here for the
How do you
soup.
feel
Look
about
at those
little-
people. Look how old they are. Did I tell you guys about this soup? So, can I get the soup?
Yeah.
And do you still do 50? Can you do half and half?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm gonna do the exact same thing.
That's the right move.
Yeah.
See how it's in the middle? It's like light green, and then in the middle, it looks like a little bit of fleur-de-lis.
All right.
That's the heat
Hot in the middle.
center.
Artichoke on the outside.
Yeah. Thank you very much. You gotta get a little bit of both in the spoon. God, this has like been a long time coming, man.
You have no idea. All right. It's good soup.
Oh, fuck you, good
No,
soup.
it's a good soup.
That's great
I'm
soup.
saying like.
The lead producer on this episode of Not Lost was the brilliant Bart Warshall, who also sound designed and mixed the episode.
Like when I say it's good soup, like that wasn't me. Like good is not a lesser adjective than great.
It is. I
No,
mean,
but
it
not
by
the way I
definition
said it.
is.
Not the way I said it.
It literally The is. show was also produced and written by me, Brendan Francis Newnam. Our associate producer was the wonderful Amy Gaines. Editorial guidance was provided by Julia Barton. Production assistance on this episode also came from the unflappable Jacob Smith.
Literally, but like this is the difference.
A big thanks to my friend and this episode's travel partner, John DeLore.
Go ahead, tell me. I could say this. I could say it's great soup. You know, or I could be like, that is good soup.
If you'd like to hear one of our earlier collaborations, head to the Parish Review podcast. If you check out season 1, you will get a sense of his sound design brilliance. Or you could say, you son of a bitch, you were so right. I underestimated you.
Right.
This soup's life-changing.
Right.
Not Lost is a co-production of Pushkin Industries, Topic Studios, and iHeartMedia. It was developed at Topic Studios. The show's executive producers are me, Christy Gressman, Maria Zuckerman, Lisa Leingang, and Latal Malad. Our theme song was created by Alexis Georgopoulos, aka ARP. He has a new album coming out this July on Mexican Summer. It's called New Pleasures. There's a single out now. Be sure to check it out. I've never had anything like it. It's pecan. The cream of artichoke is like a mushroomy hug, but then it's got this this little vinegary little sass.
Mushroomy hug.
And a special thanks to everyone in Big Sur who made us feel at home while we were away from home. Jake Pador, Arena Favilla, and the Costa Lab at the UC Santa Cruz, Deva Munet, my friend Magnus Torn at the Henry Miller Library, and of course, Duarte's Tavern for making great soup.
It's a great soup.
There we go.
It's a great
Thank
soup.
you. It's a thing, people. Please check it out. Plus, a special thanks goes out to 1885, who at this point has returned to sea to attend her epic dinner party for one. Good luck out there. If you want to see some pictures or learn something about our guests, you can head to notlostshow.com. And if you're still listening to this, you've either fallen asleep or you really like it. And if it's the latter, do us a favor. Head to Apple Podcasts and rate and review. It does seem like a silly thing, but it's actually an important thing. It helps us stay on the charts, and also I get to peek at them every once in a while and see what you guys think. So I'd really appreciate it. And after that, if you still want more information, you can learn more about Topic Studios at topicstudios.com. And to find more Pushkin podcast, and there's a lot of great podcasts happening over here, listen on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm Brendan Francis Newnam. Until next time, bon voyage.
I could have a good life in Pescadero.
You could have a great life in Pescadero.
Yeah.